oven and come out baked and ready to take over and lead to solve.
He used to give lectures every month about how to run an economy, how to fix the economy. He posed 170 questions to my vice president, Emi Sata. He should go and answer the 170 questions himself. Indeed, he shouldn't answer 170 questions. He should answer only 3 questions. 3. Why is the exchange rate 17 cedis to the dollar? Question 1. Exam, he should come and write. Ezu. Why has Ghana's debt from 120 to 767 billion? Question 2, come and answer. Question 3. Why is inflation where it is? Why did it rise to 54% under your administration for 8 years? And then let me add 2 more. Question 4. Why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? Why did you borrow 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana? He should come and answer those questions. We don't need 170 questions. 170, if he wants, he can answer them himself.
Ekosiisen On Asempa FM 94.7.
Obinye, Ekosiisen nie, Bonsu awo mene sempa, debrane mamba. Obi, som, Oribo, Ekosiisen, wo, Asempa FM, Ekosiisen, wo, Asempa FM. Ekosiisen Asempa 94.7 Asunyine tie. Oribo Ekosiisen wo, Asempa FM. Ekosiisen wo, Asempa FM. Obiba, Ode Asempa na bo. Obiba, Ode Asempa na bo. Obinye, Ekosiisen nie, Bonsu awo mene sempa, debrane mamba. Obi, som.
Asempa FM
Obinie, Ekosiise nie, Bonsu Awamene Sempa, Debrane Mamba, Obi, Som.
Asempa FM.
.7 Asempa FM Sunni. It's a brand new week, a Monday afternoon. Good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us. Ekosiise On Sunni. Asempa 94.7 FM. Meaning your say Bonsu from Obi. Yet not to say 6:30 p.m. energy media no yede eba ewiye. Intimiam fast that's from Kwema Moa Muguso Edimofidi no etwa ehweyen every weekday from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Yada munyina ase esan munyina kwaba edemoba Asempa FM so. And say ebia make sense de dikan a wodu afidi na to 8 am Asempa FM. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and on the World Wide Web. Book on myjoyonline.com and adomonline.com. Ubetimi etiye ewo eho downloadi Adom Online app no na afi my Joy Online app nenso a ubetimi ede etiye Ekosiise On Sunni Asempa FM. You can join us on Facebook and then on YouTube. Uko YouTube Asempa 94.7 FM and a Facebook and so Asempa 94.7 FM na wetumi etie eremiena munyina ase na yensan ema munyina kwaba bio. We have an interesting show coming up this Monday afternoon, and join us on all these platforms. Yenti oni hu bebia o hwe yen ede efi very 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 important. Hey, okay, Bernard Ments boa edemon check date no emame I the 1st November, I think any 4th November. The moon check you on YouTube and find my Bernard Mensboa. Thank you for the prompt. Luis Labi says, good afternoon, Obi. I'm watching you live from Birmingham in the UK. Luis Yadase. Ernest Ajeman, good afternoon to you. Brescia in Italy. Thank you. Pastor Eric Techi, Holland. Also, Shaying. Yadase, Papa. Nyame inshraw ma yenhwana fe yemfa de aka na ntoaso me pacho yewo WhatsApp number enti ubetimi edo messages afaso abrain 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. That's our WhatsApp number. And the messages no or the first brain be hwe na yakan ama 0548 443 523 na yebejemre na yakan ni nyina ama mo enne akwakwa edwode wonim say ochena Americans will go to the poll to elect a new president for the country. Na US for to abawie ochena maybe a month and 2 days na Ghana for so ye kwa akoto aba de bia na ye ka say American elections e wo implication e wo Ghana ye nso ya bato a yeto eso no kraben e na ewom. We have to delve a bit deep into American elections and in somewhere the contest between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Into similarities in Ghana, I want to say Donald Trump, a former president, was serve one term and a Olusui and a Ostage a comeback to the White House. Kamala Harris and so the current AD one term as president or person assigned so Ebabio as president. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a sitting vice president or person so Eba be president. But the focus really from the start now would be on the American elections. How Anioma Echo Uko USI Electoral College, Uko USI your swing state, your blue state, your red states. Ninjinano, how are things playing out as Americans prepare to go to the poll? Ye expert analysis Eddie Amamo and the ewo Ekosiisen so. In the Professor H.S. Kanku Abekwa Ebebasono. One other thing is why ye and ye shall see last week ye constituency watch and ye the Mubeko Madina constituency na yakoshe the achievement of the two main political parties in that constituency in the area of education, roads and health. Education, roads, and health. In the mature NDC, idea from 2009 to 2016, and MPP in Swafa from 2017 till date. Inti ye restricted to sa two administrations yape omo performance in Madina constituency na fe ye disa enkomono ye we will take you to the Asante region. Unim say na watchi ye na there was a program, a police for a stop in a NDC for program to launch say Azoka bo ekoyen samurai bebreba police for ebemo, and it will take you to Kumasi and then we'll see Dr. Bawumia in the campaign akwakopie ewo Kumasi e de yebekọ ho na afia kwhwe Ashanti region how anioma esi eko former president Mahama so ekate short the campaign in the north joining the National Peace Campaign of course when at the forecourt of State House and then was sign called North and I say moon seminal it is saying yeah the Ninina Hunsem Ebebrem as we count down to that big day, the 7th of December 2024. Na yeka say Professor Jena no Pukwajiman onamhe and Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe also enamhe yebedi san community and we have a really packed show every Edmamo. Please join us 0548 443 523 or adventure Fabrema ma prof akwaba na fiemfa yen komo no enhyehyɛ so prof boko there
bacho nyame adum boko
now yes adumia first time on this show me boy
very first time actually yeah
wow and that's what me about kan yen ho e wa ha basically the ochina na US air to aba no
bacho
o mabato na ye one day o moto na one day
bacho one day. Now, so difference they say.
Yes.
Apart from Dana Yetuabano,
okay.
Omo man for opportunity say Ombetuaba before the day of the election.
Oh, okay.
Into no Omo mail-in votes.
Mail-in votes.
And then absentee votes. Into no say who say na say on the day of the election for whatever reason. Ebia accused, Ebia we Juma, Ebia you are not in the country,
yes,
and other things,
yes.
Or they give you the opportunity to say before the day of the voting. With me, I requested for voting forms. Now, Omodi about fear. Now, okay. Now, I post it.
Oh, okay.
And you know,
who posting it by mail?
Yeah, by normal mail. Yeah, normal mail.
And ebe kwa kama.
Oh yes.
So, am I kind?
Yes. Because our postal system is major yes infrastructure.
But how would you know, say, who vote now million? How would you know?
So more acknowledgement of it.
Okay.
Once I would call it, more acknowledgement of it.
Okay.
And then more electoral officials so they are in the mailing room.
Okay.
Receive it.
Okay.
And then you receive an acknowledgement.
In a certainty say once you vote via mail, no, that vote will be counted.
Oh yes. Hello dear. 100% sure. 100%, yeah. Because our mailing room no matter order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some reporting.
I don't know. State be one there.
State be one there.
Oh, okay.
State be one there. Into about some more 50 states.
Yes.
It's about 46 of those states, have provisions for mailing.
Votes.
So what happens? They say once it comes in, they will begin to compile it.
Yes.
Yes. Who say these are the number of people Oma voted by mail. So at this point, millions and millions of people, millions.
And amount for you use our option, nepa.
Oh yeah,
the mailing option. No?
Omo using mailing option. It's just unfortunate I don't have the figures here, but it's to the extent that I think over 35% of the country.
Oh,
yeah, voted through mailing. So it's a major way of voting for. And in some states, it's actually dominates over the in-person votes.
In-person votes.
Yes, but the thing about it is COVID time also it came up very useful. Yeah. Because now from person so something like that is very important, and that's why for me, discussing about U.S. election, why is this important? Why is it necessary? One of the things they say, it opens your eyes to the whole democracy process
and international best practice.
Practice. And the principle behind it, and made me interest. And the principle behind it is the principle of inclusivity and expansion of universal adult suffrage to as many people as possible. Take part in the system. And some of these discussions, it's not just for the fun of it, but also to make sure that as the leading democracy, can we get to a time over here, so we can take advantage of such systems? Yes. Is it possible, say, Ghana will get to a certain stage that we can
also do some mail-in votes,
something like that? Yeah, in order to cut down on the queues, and to cut down on the standing in the sun, waiting to make call or the board
for me queue
3 a.m. And I know a lot of people say, no, I'm this year I'm not ready to do that. So if you're discussing some of these things, even the debates, a lot of the things are in our democracy. We learned it from the US.
It's true.
So democracy is now a global thing, and these are some of the reasons why it's important.
Yeah, it's true. And if we can also look at that, I don't know if we will get there anytime soon, though. But really, really important. The two leading candidates, the sitting Vice President Kamala Harris and the former President Donald Trump. So far, campaign have we seen a campaign that has been focused on more ideas, and I say way too money, personal attacks now overshadow ideas campaign and US of A.
Very good question. In fact, the way election are going, say America 4-year election in their history, personal attacks and attempted and derogatory language taking center stage
like this one,
like this ever before.
Wow.
And never have we seen two personalities election almost different, contrasting candidates, so much so that their personalities are so opposite in an election, in a US election. Now, we see policy ideas, insult, and all other things. About election, one of the things why elections are important is you dream on mind. You want to think about the future. It's also an opportunity reflecting on the past. What has happened? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? And elections too are important because it's going to have an implication on all of us our lives.
It's true.
But by US, it's even more important because it's not just an implication for the US, but
for the rest of the world.
For the rest of the world.
Yes.
It is also Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Donald Trump ono a campaign and a campaign it's ono bekano and a policy ono on follow any laid down policy ideas or whatever ono bekano and a policy. And one of the major things are characterizing the personality of Donald Trump
derogatory language
kasa complaining so much. Say, adding election, but Kasana or Kano and Shedan Yafi. So, Kamala Harris, also first female or African American. First female African American, Ujinama major party ticket. And it's happening with the context, say, President Nanka also, but as I said now, mostly we need to do Nadri Shedan Jinaho Yentino, or no see feminine Kamala Harris a buy. Into the argument Kamala and say, Donald Trump, is so much of a strange candidate in terms of the way he conducts himself. In fact, with the Obama because almost he represents a threat to democracy. Just say among bono system na say or no I opposite. Or no believe or admire dictators. Like
Vladimir Putin.
And one of the major arguments no one can say, and I don't know Trump or no say or no Oba, is he has an enemies list. He's coming for retribution. Microphone na almost a cassette na some promise
or be go after woman.
Go after woman. Or no or say Africa yeah shit hole. On pay before using language that is derogatory, even Emma or say I'll grab them by the pussy, in the last election. Very derogatory language. And even some of Nyama it undermines the democratic institutions. Kamala Harris's argument says Nipa Saba or be undermining democracy is a threat or an affront to democracy. America for Omanhene now Omanhene se number 2 Usha Kamala so also believe in more of internationalism, or believe in social democracy, communitarianism, and one of the major issues are all talking about here gender empowerment, and female rights, and supporting democracy across the world. Inti Obisa no so Oba, you are sure she will be more about human rights, she'll be more about gender rights and socially inclined policies. So the microphone anyway, these are the two contrasts that we have in this election.
But against Donald Trump, so also from Joe Biden and Donald Trump, you would say, in fact, I will start even from former President Clinton, Hillary. So on Donald Trump call first, and Donald Trump winning. When you Osha Hillary, Obesha Joe Biden, no Washa Kamala, you would say, Omono ye quintessential Americans in terms of representing the American state and the ideals. Said the proper democracy, if you want to put it that way. But Donald Trump now presenting him as an anti-system person, on your typical American political elite, or the outsider, whose system is a system, and he's maintained that consistently from Hillary through to Biden to now. And it seems that's our rhetoric, ni base epe. And that's why he gets the support he's getting. I mean, for the election to become even this close at this time, say what Donald Trump does now, you free say, whether this is not American. It is something the Americans want. And
no, very good point. Into your negative side now. That's the positive side of it.
Yes.
One of the things that Crawford have a problem with, as far as politics is concerned, is that almost you're tired of politicians.
Okay.
Politicians are go through system and Bamo believe they always lie to them. One thing during the campaign,
something different.
And so there's a lot of people they are just tired of that kind of talk. For those people, Donald Trump's difference and his politically incorrect nature appeals to them.
Yes.
Because someone believe say the elite now policies now to the advantage. Somebody like Donald Trump will go and fight them and fight the system. And people like that a lot of believe in him.
And almost Dawson.
Typically
white Americans, right?
Good. Typically white Americans. And the reason why that is so is because part of the thing about America, it always boils down to the economy.
Yes.
It always boils down to the economy. And Donald Trump, they believe in business-minded ideas. His experience in business. It's almost believe he says somebody like this will know how to run the country. The next thing they say, almost so one of the major things I go for Donald Trump is that a lot of Americans also almost are very concerned about immigration. Almost share almost society. It is a Ghana, if you complaints in Nigeria something like that. And to almost believe it's immigration.
A country in fact.
Thank you. A country in fact. I think that's the correct one. And almost you're very fearful of that, And Donald Trump, I can say, on the first day, signing the largest deportation policy ever.
Deportation policy.
Yes.
Meaning, it's just a
yes, we are illegal.
Well, we've always had this way, say America is immigrant friendly.
Right.
And even when you are illegal, unlike UK, America will be when you but for other countries, a Juma cry a crab and Donald Trump wants to change that way about America.
Correct. And that is why Oye a very interesting character. Because in one breath, and that is what Kamala is using against him. Kamala say, my mom came from India.
Yes.
My dad came from Jamaica. And I had the opportunity to experience the American dream.
Yeah.
Obama buy the same thing. My father is from Kenya. My mom is from Kansas. And the union of the two produced me. I even have an African, a Swahili, a Luo name, Barack, Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
And for some Americans, a lot of Americans know that is the appeal Kamala Harris is making to them. But there is this other, what we call the Midwestern heartland, white working class Americans. Now, almost all believe that these people, and so they come and poison the system. And Donald Trump is telling them, say, all those concerns will be a thing of the past. Say, power, because he'll be more strict. And I wish Mexico border now. And Mexicans and Africans, Nicaraguans, Asian Americans, Latin Americans, and from different places. We quite to me to come from Congo, no matter through Nicaragua, no matter different routes, no matter and that. And I almost believe he said that is one of the sources of the illegal immigrants. Donald Trump said no about build it wall. And war will trim with
your friend saying, obey a buying, obey a buying, Afahun Asia
with electric fencing.
But say interestingly, the last time I was there, I was in school or University of San Diego, California.
Okay.
So San Diego is the closest city to the Mexican border. We visited the border, but when you go there, there is this wire netting, tinting. I don't know. So apart from that, no, see another wall power in which but there's one that is to say a hot and you have soldiers manning the entire stretch. The one net and hot and to be because there was an instance some fathers from University of San Diego, a private Catholic university, into the school chaplain na oko a hokuj now a communion to. And confront a good wall.
The other side.
Net. And when you go here, there's that net. And yeah, baby, a bit more firm room science. Meti wall. Now I was a bit surprised. Wall being built, but it's a very busy border. Probably the busiest in the world. Very, very, very busy. I mean, Nipan Musa. It's crazy.
Right.
It's
crazy. He's sure he's unsure. So the netting or whatever is there is doing the right job.
Okay.
Because I know there are some parts of the wall and comforting jumping and other things. Okay. So no per se, or even more fortified than what is there now. Because I know they don't have it. And that's one of his key promises.
Wow. And people are buying into it.
Because for them, they believe foreigners they've caused a lot of chaos. Campaign say even some of them are eating
dogs
they dilute the system. They are un-American.
And he speaks Sankophone language on person.
Exactly. So that is where his support base is. The other one is almost believe Jews that people are going to use to vote is the economy.
Yeah, but it's so around the world. I mean, because post-COVID, almost every election are about post-COVID. You see the economy dominate.
Yes.
The UK is an example. In America, it's not surprising. Ghana, it's shaping out to be an economy elections. I think post-COVID, of course.
For the first time, inflation has skyrocketed.
Even in America.
Oh, yeah. The cost of bread, the cost of groceries, so-called $100 bill. Back in the day, what hands of electricity and even the ability for people to buy houses. People who live from paycheck to paycheck are really, really feeling the heat and the burden.
Even in America.
Oh, yes.
But no, is it going against Kamala because on the current vice president?
Perfect. In America, yes, it's going against it. talking about the Trump question, why do people support him? No? One of the reasons, economy, because some believe you'll be able to manage it better, because inflation, high cost of food items, and then the rent is a major issue.
But I didn't know what evangelicals support, sir. Donald Trump.
Yes, and there is because Conservative Party, Republican Party, Omoya Party believe in a lot of the Christian ideals. And one of the major ones near abortion. Because Omo believe say abortion is a sin.
Omoya pro-life.
Abortion is a sin, it's wrong, you don't have to do it. But the other side also say no, there are certain circumstances you have to do it. And I also believe that it's your body, it's your right. You got to make a decision.
Also make a decision, choices on your body.
Yes, but as a Christian, or as many Christians know, they frown on that. And a lot of the other policies that they believe in the Bible, they believe there should be 12 commandments, should be in the schools. That America was built on Christian principles. In God we trust, on their currency. And some believe that God should be a major dominant figure or factor in the governance of the country. Meanwhile, these other people too come and say that, hey, freedom of religion,
liberal, so be the
association, and they believe that the more they preach liberalism,
and the LGBTQ,
thank you, because Christians don't believe in LGBT, but these people say no, and they believe the more there is that, the more it poisons the very culture and fabric of America. It galvanizes a lot of Christians to
and Donald Trump, so why we're making the position on LGBTQ public, so I know he's against it.
I know uncle left, uncle right. We're very straightforward about it, that he's against it. They are shaky a bit. Abortion. At a point, say, no matter what, whether incest will be the rape you, we are there.
Also keep you baby.
Also keep you. But after some time, or decided say, well, I mean, if it's up to maybe if it's less than 6 weeks or something, and it's safe to do it. He's kind of trying to hedge on that. And almost so realizes because repealing, Donald Trump, president, and I'm a Supreme Court, or make abortion
illegal.
And and Obi was say or travel from one state to another state. And I told him how it is from one country to Islam, just to go and get access to sexual reproductive health, family planning facilities. And a lot of women are not really happy about that. And it's not necessarily those who just believe in abortion, but believe it's like you are limiting.
You have more choice if you're more.
And see, I'm mobilizing a lot of women are coming out to vote against Donald. And so we share difference in only vote ni Kamala. No, one of the major factors is pushing Kamala a women's vote. As at yesterday, New York Times and some of the media houses they came up with their final polls. And it's kind of close, but some of the states are shifting. One of the biggest ones is Iowa. That's a conservative state. A lot of Christians. And it is a state that conservative Trump state. In fact, last 2 elections or destroyed Biden and Hillary over there. But yesterday, Paul no say Kamala are taking over there. And if you look at it, the reason why are taking over is like women voted for Kamala 57% to 30 something. The difference between the number of women who voted for him.
That's for Iowa.
For Iowa. Emma have become a very big galvanizing force in this particular US.
Wow, that's really interesting. As we speak, polls no put two head to head. Barely.
Most of them 47, 48, and 47, 48. That's within margin of error, because margin of eror plus 3 plus or minus 3. So 47, 48. Some of them 46, 47. Some of them 48, 48. International poll, no dear. To be honest, Kamala has a slim 2%, but that to me that doesn't mean a lot. 1%, 2%, 3% does not mean anything, because it's well within the margin of error. It's the same thing Hillary Clinton 2016. She was even ahead by 4 points, by 5 points, but the day came and it was thrown out of gear. International polls no HSA Harris is in front. But who consider margin of error now? It's exactly. It's where you have to look at, and I say about American elections now. I'm a person I might say, and your national percentages no and
matter. Electoral college.
Electoral college.
Okay.
Or the swing state, because I know say you talked about that in your introduction.
Yes.
And no, it's like in Ghana, say your Ashanti region, Central region, and all of that. Normal allocate a number of delegates, so to speak, or votes to each region or state. In the Ashanti region population also. In Tombeka say a number of electoral votes here, 47. About Volta region, 1 point something million. Central region, so you're around that figure. Into Ombema Volta, maybe 9. Ombema Central, maybe 10.
10.
And you know, one number, you need to get a certain number to win the election. That's 270. And near Obe get it to 270 first, that person wins the election.
Okay.
So we're combining all the electoral
votes now.
However, some states where everybody knows where they vote. Ghana, all of us knows a voter will vote NDC.
Yes, Asante will vote MPP
and all of that. It's so cross all of that out. Then it comes to certain states, they switch every year, like Central.
Western to some extent, and
Bono region, as well, or
yes,
one of them.
Sure.
Yeah. So these states, Greater Accra.
Yes.
Now, almost swing states, because the rest of the country,
blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. Yeah.
And these swing states, where they vote, and they determine who's going to win the election. And almost 7 of them.
7 states. It is our 7 states in the form electoral college.
No, almost swing states. Electoral college is the whole country, but the whole country, give and take. Obianim.
Baby, a correct state, blue states.
And no, it's our 7 swing states. Almost every time change.
Baba, before some about to even ask for more clarity, in the Hillary and Trump elections, we were told say popular votes Hillary winning. Na electoral college be na Trump winning. No na ye dey actually no moment.
But you into popular votes I don't know yet to say Ghana there.
Yes.
Or ya can bibia.
Yes.
President Kufuor wunya whatever million.
Yes.
President Mahama also wunya whatever million. And then popular vote.
Okay.
So we US election.
Okay.
Now, they count everything.
Okay.
No matter say Hillary, you had this number.
Yes.
You had this number. Yes. 47%, or 8%. But the reason why that doesn't count in the say states, population, and na electoral college.
Okay.
So you find say California, a population of let's say 7 million.
Yes.
And another state like you find say Florida, a population of let's say 4 million. So 7 and 4, it's 11 million, right?
Yes.
So what we need 5 billion in California, we need 2 million in Florida. That's 5 plus 2, that's 7.
Yes.
Out of the 11.
Yes.
It's a competitor or 4.
Yes.
It's a popular vote, they will win. However, the number of delegates in California, and no omodi compile who wins the election. Into California is allotted 45, I'm just giving an example,
yes.
45 electoral college votes. Florida too is allotted, let's say, 35. And who say
where we need popular votes.
Where we need popular votes. The number of electoral college votes that will bet me.
Yes.
And then even if you win, say Iowa, you win by this margin in Iowa, you could see 7 electoral votes. It doesn't matter, say who we need. And to me, we need by only 1% or another place. Electoral vote no. It's although you find say in Greater Accra who win 2 million and your competitor no 1.9 million.
1.9 million.
Yeah, all the electoral votes no ni pakono.
Okay.
Into about electoral college votes now who was 0. Yes, the electoral college votes nyina be man.
I didn't hear.
Because they believe say the original thinking no more say Americans, they didn't want to be like Europe, where sometimes the popular vote, excuse my language, they could vote for a buffoon.
Yes.
Somebody can be popular and use his buffoon whatever and then win the popular vote. And I'm saying no, the people in the society sometimes they are not well reasoned enough to select a good president.
Yes.
Because literacy levels are different, literacy, people's education and other things.
Yeah.
So to control that, let us let people vote. but let's select people from the state to represent the state in the electoral college. So when those well-reasoned people meet in the electoral college, they can decide to correct any mistake that had been made. So they will then go and then cast the electoral college vote. They will ask you, Asante region, you are the ones representing, who are you voting for? You mention it. Volta or whatever state, California, Pennsylvania, tell us. Then at that college, they will then make that vote to serve as a buffer. But the fair part of it is that as well.
In the Maminya way, you say, Yemfa California state, for example. In this, Yatuaba in California state, which is the most popular state in the US anyway. It is Yatuaba or Honase, Ebia Kamala, because no Attorney General of California. Yes. State attorney.
Yes.
Because Ebia no free California, no, Warini.
Yes.
Orini we Ebia when you have 4 million, Trump and you 2 million.
Good.
Na Ebia more electoral college figure be 47, for example. Na sa 47 no. Emu 30 atwama Donald Trump. So I'm open Donald Trump. I nya 2 million in the popular vote no. Na emu 17. And Atwama Kamala Harris, what happens for California votes?
Okay, so this is the difference. 47 I will mention.
Yes.
Kamala.
Because Kamala won the popular votes there.
Thank you. Do you get it?
Oh, okay.
Which means that you, Donald Trump, when it comes to the electoral college, no, 47 won't be cry.
Oh.
But whatever 2 million or say there vote single vote no and never contributed to popular vote.
To popular vote. No?
Yes.
And meaning say winning the state itself is important.
Good.
You win the state.
Yes.
And then you get the electoral college vote on your side.
Yes. So it doesn't really matter say ABR. Yes, Kamala won the state. Maybe she was ahead of you and she had 2 million votes.
Yes.
You had 1.8 million votes. So 1.8 in treasury because at the end of the day
the electoral college votes will go to Kamala.
That is why somebody can get plenty numbers. But the electoral college number there can be just 6.
It makes sense now. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
And that's how come Hillary won the popular vote, no?
Yes.
But because he did not win a lot of states, no?
Yes. And the important swing states. Because we say my brain map in this year. Yes. California, almost 54 electoral colleges.
Yes.
Oregon 8, Washington 12, Texas 40. You see?
Yeah.
40. Arizona 6. Kansas 6.
Oh.
And you know, fine. Oh, what you mean we need will vote, but so who we need in the states that they don't have a lot of
electoral college votes are really much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing, yeah.
Okay, we will target California more, Texas more, or more. Texas is also likely to vote conservative,
yes,
right?
Good. And see, two things. Who to me targeting the big states, but fortunately or unfortunately, those states, no, baby are more voting. And still, no,
you need swing states,
swing states because. So we are give and take. What the Republicans form now the Democrats still you won't get to 270.
Yeah,
you will never get to 270. And still you need those swing states, and those swing states are 7: Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada,
Pennsylvania,
Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina.
7 swing states. And until for the past few months, no, I campaign the swing states, no.
I'm telling you. Because so say in Ghana, because we will use the popular vote.
Yes.
Still, you can campaign in voter if you are MPP and hope that you get
vote
if you are NDC, you can campaign in Ashanti and hope that you will get some votes. But if you win in voter, no, forget it. Don't give you any electoral votes for coming whatever in voter. Whoever wins gets the electoral vote.
The electoral vote.
Yeah, so they may not waste their time campaigning in their strong areas. They would rather waste their time campaigning like Greater Accra, Central, and all of that.
Wow. That's really interesting. I mean, at least me did say and Yatimia Boa, what America elections, what swing state, what electoral college votes. Maybe I want to say battleground state any other. Now, at least you have a fair idea about how America it choose or more president. But one thing, because and also yes similar, it was similarities with what happening in Ghana. No, the fact say Kamala a sitting vice president.
Yeah.
Donald Trump a president of person sign echo baby. Has it yenya scenario way in American history that where we have a former president who wants to come back,
right,
and a sitting vice president of person sign to be a president. Yenya scenario maybe that.
Not when the first time I see. In the past, normally about 3 different vice presidents, including George Bush, ne papa, the senior Bush.
Yes.
And I believe there are 2 more.
Okay.
I believe Lyndon and Nixon.
Okay.
Yes, Richard Nixon. Lyndon Johnson was also a VP who became president. And yes, have a vice president, running before, but not at the same time, somebody who has become a president, who was a one-term president. What is also making it interesting is scenario will be call national delegates, this candidates. Then candidates step it down. Say let my VP go.
My VP go. And see
that. But there are parallels because in Ghana, we have a sitting vice president in the form of Dr. Mamman Baumia, all representing.
Yes.
Day to day, have a sitting vice president, Kamala Harris, representing them. In Ghana, we have John Mahama, who is a one-term president.
Who wants to come back.
Day to day, have Donald Trump, who is coming back. If you look at the Democratic Party is similar to NDC.
Sure.
Because they believe in social democracy and socially inclined policies.
Yes.
They are center-left.
Yes.
So we share Republican Party, they are similar to the NPP because they believe in center-right, capitalism, laissez-faire economics, the free market, liberal property owning democracy. And those are the similarities. Our election year too is in the same cycle, in the same year as well. Every 4 years it falls in the same year, and they have theirs in November. December. And by I don't know whether it is by providence, by luck, by fate, or whatever, but most of the time when the Democrats win,
NDC wins. Ghana.
So the Republicans win, MPP wins. The only time that ever happened was in 2020 when we're 2024, right? 2020. When a Democrat won in the form of Joe Biden.
Yeah, and the MP
might not be any scientific allusion to that. It's more of a anecdotal or historical.
And that's a purely coincidental.
So those are some of the parallels. But at the same time, what I'm saying too is that it gives us opportunities to learn. Because a presidential debates previously we're not having it in Ghana.
Yes.
But over time we've done that. Say about polling, it used not to be a big deal, but we've had that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the role of the media, the giving opportunities for public discourse, public debate, also in the major role that the media has played in elections and in governance as well. When it comes to young people agitating for social change, the Occupy Wall Street, we had Occupy Ghana, we had the Fix the Country movement, we had the Black Lives Matter movement and all of that. And see, when it comes to democracy, it's a global ideal, and it's a very important say we kind of learn from each other and compare notes as well. And by the international system as well too, based on whoever wins the presidency, Kamala Harris is somebody who pushes for LGBTQ and all of that. The question is, are they going to tie it to aid and trade policies as far as Africa is concerned? Donald Trump says that when it comes, he's going to reimpose the Muslim ban for majority Muslim countries, and some of them are in Africa. So that is something to think about. The Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, the AGOA, is something that America implemented especially for Africa to give peasant farmers, textile manufacturers, and different businesses in Africa reduce tariff opportunities to penetrate the U.S. market. Is that still going to be continued? We had a Yali initiative, which Obama did. And
I was a beneficiary actually in 2017.
Oh, congratulations!
Mandela Washington Fellowship.
They are a big man.
Oh, I hear.
Congratulations! That's big. Congrats. Yeah, that's a top fellowship.
Very. And
so these are some of the things. When Donald Trump was president, he had the Prosper Africa initiative to support U.S. investors and a growing middle class to trade with Africa. So the question is he going to maintain a policy like that? Then we have the Chinese influence in Africa. So America is looking forward to countering that influence in Africa, because already China is one of Africa's largest
trade partners.
Partners. So the question then is, to what extent will the US trade with Africa? What opportunities will be available to open up those markets to Africa? Because they are very, very, very cautious about China's influence on the continent. I can tell you that as at now, China is Africa's largest trade partner. For the first quarter of 2024, their trade with Africa alone amounted to 166.6 billion cedis. Only in the first quarter of 2024. Yes, and China is making its inroad into the continent, and America does want to counter that. There are also questions about
Russia and so presence.
Russia's presence
through the Wagner and all of that.
Wagner,
the Wagner group,
So and some of these undermine democracy. It also undermines the war on terrorism, because of course America has citizens here. If you go to Somalia, Kenya, and all those places, the war on terror, Al-Shabaab, ISIS, it's really, really tough over there. And so America is looking forward to establishing military bases over here to make sure that they are able to counter those terrorist influences over here. So this is the relationship between the US and Africa. As far as why that election is
so crucial at the end. I mean, for more munim say American president and even their vice president moving from the US of A to visit countries around the world, a big deal. And Ghana has somehow been fortunate, because we've had Bill Clinton come here, we've had George Bush come here, we've had Obama come here, and Joe Biden but in recent times, Kamala Harris and so up behind. That's really big for us. Unimun so say American presence in Ghana. Recently,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. It was actually, I'm told it's actually the first American embassy in West Africa. Yeah, that building.
Wait, is it?
No. Away from National Theatre.
Yeah.
National Theatre. How could be a Ministry of Energy one?
Towards the left side.
Towards your left.
I've
you see
it.
A diner has you see pillars.
Right.
That building.
Okay,
that building. And American presence in Ghana, I mean, a historic. In this American elections, Ghanaians are very, very interested. And one thing we should also know, and it's Sawasha countries are among call for America. Ghana rank amongst the countries that be brave US Yeah, we have a lot of Ghanaians in the US, a lot of Ghanaians in the US. I mean, I got to Bronx, and that was when I got to know, say, in Bronx alone, Ghanaians are like legal Ghanaians living in Bronx, over 70,000.
Wow.
Yeah, in just Bronx alone. I mean, you go, and these are more council who like registered. Or more registered in count.
Underground.
When you move from New York, go to Connecticut and move into Massachusetts, Massachusetts, Ghana for any war, Worcester has, at the last time I'm about 30,000 Ghanaians.
Right. Famous college, a lot of Ghanaian, Worcester College.
Students, a lot of Ghanaians, Worcester I mean, and you come to Connecticut, Hartford area, only at the Ghana food go, and then you come to the main New York itself. Bronx, the Udru has Ghana. Papa restaurant money at the Ghana and the Ghanaian interest in America is a big deal. And that's why this election means so much to Ghana. And of course, the similarities had your drama, the Ghana ni be a train MPP for a train say Kamala Ewiniya. They go like, okay, sitting vice president, we need a president, the Ghana, so Baumiyama president. Say Donald Trump, we need this if also go like, okay, former president Asempa Biodi a Ghana, so
Obia the
bear in the campaign. I don't know how well, because of the dynamics, because ordinarily, and Kwabena, okay, the MPP would wish for Donald Trump to win because it's their sister party. And this would wish for Kamala to win because I know so you're sister party. But then say Kamala could win here. It plays into the Dr. Baumia narrative. Donald Trump's winning, it plays into the John Mahama narrative. The next few days will be very, very interesting.
Yeah, because we are in the flyer already. You know, Nigeria election, it was the same thing because Usi Banjo was the sitting vice president or contesting primaries against the current president and Oluzi. You know, but when they were going, it became until Oluzi and Uncle Fordrin said the same thing, but I will not get a presidential candidature for his party. Until, you know, all the flyers will be ready. Kenya elections this year, and it was the same thing.
It was the same thing.
The time William Ruto was contesting with Regati Gashangwa, Ruto was the sitting vice president. Or contesting Uwini, and then we had the Luo man,
Raila
Odinga, you know, also contesting. So I mean, those political.
But that message, would it really have an impact in Ghana? For example, someone will say, because I think one thing the NPP seems to be doing, and it's the messaging of Kamala Harris. Say, okay, one, Joe Biden is Joe Biden. I am not Joe Biden. I am Kamala Harris. I have my own plan for America. And you know, Kamala is pushing that narrative a lot in the US. And people draw those parallels with what Baumia is also doing here because of the situation he finds himself. And I will share Donald Trump and so he seems to be blaming the challenge with the economy on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. As if a similar thing that happened in Ghana. Ain't it? Those kinds of narrative, say Basa Kamala Evinia, ebe bolster MPP campaign.
Exactly.
Will it?
Oh, absolutely. It depends on what the campaign does with it. But then there's a certain psychological edge that it will give to them and their supporters. And then there's also a very indirect, I would still call it cognitive effect that it will have, because at the end of the day, a lot of people in Ghana would look at it and say that, oh, okay, if it is possible that this has happened in the US, trust me, it definitely is going to have a certain, not real, not in terms of a certain quantitative scientific effect, but just the psychology and the cognitive nature of it would definitely sway some people to say that it's possible, especially because of the Americanization of the world, the westernization of the world. People look a lot at what happens
in America.
No more your permutations. Because it's a time now, Dr. Baumia, Eka say, he's his own man, or on his own vision. He was only a driver's mate, and all of that, It was very hard for people to accept that. But when Kamala
began saying the same thing,
it kind of obliterated, whatever accusations, or kind of tempered down. So people were like, okay, well, I mean, the same thing is happening over there. And it brought into question the whole idea of how much responsibility should vice presidents take, and what kind of messaging should vice presidents use when they are running for office, for office as well.
But the other thing, and so when you look at the UK election was a verdict or a referendum on the state of the British economy. Unfortunately, the Conservatives lost. And a Labour, a winning. I mean, on the back of the economic challenges. America now, Donald Trump is hitting the economy message. Say, blame Kamala, blame Joe Biden for the state of the American economy. Should Donald Trump win on the basis of that messaging? Yes. Then, in Ghana, John Mahama would have a certain edge, no?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like this question. So, just following your trajectory. Sorry, I just lost my trail of thought.
Yes. But on the economy.
The economy. Good. So, one of the big arguments that is happening in the US, there are a lot of people almost say, yes, the economy was bad, but it's picking up actually
in the US.
It's picking up in the US. Honestly, I mean, we talked a lot. Is the rate is coming down. The job market seems to have opened up. It's really coming up.
And you're bad as 6 months ago.
No, it is picking up. So the question then, but then the thing for the US voters is that they look at Kamala and then they say reconstruction or recovery as it should be.
Yes.
And that is where they are not so sure because
that Kamala can do it.
They can do that.
Okay.
But the catch for Donald Trump, it's also not all but certain for Donald Trump that if it's the economy that people are using to vote, then it's Donald Trump who will win. Because they, in as much as they believe in his economy, almost say wakasa enye, wo personality no enye. Adena utimi kasasa yen
Okasa no kwa kwati mi shake markets no.
Yes.
As a president.
And I also say oba yenya sure say the nuclear weapons e de to nsemu a yenya sure ne awo betimi de aye. O chena no pa o sorry na say obufu a utimi ye bibia. Who I will say on the you will be a dictator for one day. Sound okay. And encourages a lot of through his rhetoric or encourages a lot of violence. So she generally sit now or encouraging the supporters said they should march to the Capitol Hill. Up to today, who say when Jim to say we lose the election, and you know he encourages people to demonstrate against the system. And your motion almost say like we like you. You seem to be we are decent. We say oba we kasa you who present who very nicely, very decent. But unfortunately, say we are position and chair be and I am
vice president,
presidential candidate.
Oh, the presidential candidate. Okay.
You know, still no, you need one kasa policies. You need Joe Biden. Until we are still yet to learn more about you and who you are, even though people like her as a person. If you look at the polls, if you look at who is more likable, it is Kamala Harris. Oh yes.
Amongst all demographics.
Kamala Harris is leading in terms of likability.
Wow.
And you know, but where the pause comes is the policies. Until we will only wait till election night
and see. Prof, I wish we could continue, but I mean, say Osei join you, and I join you. Sinti, Mame Nase, a lawyer Samson Ladi, and says, in 2005, Ghanaian medical doctors in New York alone outnumbered the total number of doctors in Ghana.
Wow.
In New York, just one state. And it tells you the Ghanaian interest in America. We have a lot of doctors.
So it speaks to what you were saying.
Sure.
So it's coming from Samson, lawyer Samson.
Sure.
That's a very good statistic to back up some of what we discussed.
Yeah, very well. We say, Obi, good afternoon to you and your guest. The professor is doing a massive job there. In-depth analysis and factual presentation. I love the discussion and it's spot on. From Nana Ansong, he's the Omanhene in the US and Canada. So, Omanhene in US and Canada. Thank you so much, Nana. We appreciate the fact that you make time to listen. The rise in crime, relate how she became a candidate. Kamala has been somehow inconsistent in this. Elder Amos Kevin Anani Dasi Obi, Trump will never win. Data shows that the economy is better under this administration than Trump's administration. Kamala's issue is about the woman factor. Many Americans are still not ready for a woman, but in all, many believe that Kamala is the best choice. Trump has started preparing the grounds to reject the result by putting false allegations out. Thank you. Paul DeSuso is in Massachusetts and all the way from the US of A. Lot of messages. Hi, Obi. Talking about similarities with Ghana in the American elections, actually, the very first election of the fourth Republican dispensation, there were two elections, one in November, just as in the US of A, and the other in December. Yeah, I remember. And Mike Bonsu, and anyway, about Mike, I remember.
Another similarity.
Yeah, another similarity in there. Prof, messages ne dos man sha mecho aka nti mayenya okwan timi kokotwa wadwuma so yeda senti we'll talk again hopefully after the elections. Why yeda sepa nyame nshraw Ekosiisen so high Asempa 94.7 FM into Professor H.S. Kanku and Obekayen to help us deal with the US elections, which happens tomorrow. We say Obi, Trump himself has a German background. Former Black Stars player, I'll guest him for and Augustin. Thank you so much. This one says, Obi, happy birthday to Mr. Frank Mobila, the Accra North Area Manager of SNIT. This from Peter Do Ahaji, Richard Menu, Michael Konja Jr., and Inko Joseph. And Omunyina Boom Ediway Abrade. Happy birthday to you. We say Obi, good afternoon. Could you believe Because of Trump, most states are calling for military enforcement because he wants to reject the election if he does not win. Godfred Adoa, Edie, Enono. Okay. And he again says, Obi, hold your breath on the wall. This is the same question Baumia has been asking President Mahama. Trump was a president before. Why didn't he build the wall when he was a president? It's not only abortion, but the practice of gays, which most Muslims and African Christians are also considering in their votes. Okay. Godfred Adoa, yedase, papa. Ma, menhwe we say Obi, happy, glorious birthday to Honorable Joseph Kuma Mackay, CEO of Middle Belt Authority, the incoming MP for Sine West constituency. May the Almighty God bless and protect you in all aspects of your life. May victory locate you come December 7th, 2024. Okay. Let me see. This one says that okay. We say, Obi, good afternoon. Please wish Bernice Apia Ampofua of Koforidia Nursing and Midwifery Training College a glorious happy birthday for me from your perspective and our prospective. Mr. Charles Adolfo Apia and Emilia Ousu, Nanaya Ronnie and colleagues at school. They want to celebrate you today, Bernice, and special regards to members of the Asante Barbers get-together group inside Camberwell in London. Master P, Ewa London, no the way. Abre Master P, Yedase, Papa. Okay. This one says, Obi, good afternoon. Please, I bring this to the notice of the media and the public that 2020 batch of nurses and midwives who just received financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance on the 6th of August are still at home and do not know the next step for their postings. Obi, it will interest you to know that after we assessed the portal and the portal was closed, we've not heard anything from the Ministry of Health and no official communicate to us, which has left some of us stranded. Please, Obi, kindly use your powerful platform to advocate on our behalf. Some of our colleagues and juniors who have money to pay have already started working. We, the vulnerable in the society, are really suffering. Thank you. My name is Felix Owusu in Ejeso. Obi, trust me, Trump will win this election. Emmanuel Amoakon in Takrade, or an old saint, the 1995-year group. Ima, thank you. Thank you so much. Where's Obi? Good afternoon to you. Ghana's election is not based on who wins in America. Even if it is very highly insignificant. Over here in Ghana, JDM would win hands down. Scientific research by Global Info Analytics confirmed that the NDC is currently leading by 52%. Dela from East Cantonment. And Odiwe Abadela Yedase. Obi, your guest is knowledgeable. But when you do the mail-in vote, you don't get an acknowledgement, but you can verify from the city hall if they have received your vote. Again, U.S. politics was very civil till Donald Trump came to the scene. He started by questioning President Obama's nationality, and it started going downhill from there. Watching you live from Massachusetts in the US of A. President Grover Cleveland was the 22nd president from 1885 to 1889 and the 24th president from 1893 to 1897, and he's the only one who succeeded. All others failed. In the Grover Cleveland NOA president Otimiko Esai Ebabi, we are yet to see if Donald Trump can equal that. Ma menkwa homane so emra na fe yeba ma ba studio ha na yaba aba betwa yem common so kosi say na medical catcher mo say ye show no very very packed, but it's because of you. Eric Ejay, a deputy communications director for the Jane Nana Opoku Ajeman campaign. Eric, Kwabena na pom te say
Obi yame adom na wonso
adumia ni crying kakra na wonam hini
Obi sisi ade mo kakra
won crying. Oh, okay. In the menya statement from Mo campaign team, they say Professor Opoku Ajeman begins tour of the Volta region on Tuesday, which is Ochina Meboa.
Jamia the Mochina.
Inti the last region I'll call here Hefa.
Obi me that. Mamincha Ekosiisen On Asempa. Last week near Asante the governor for 5 days. The time that they do.
Eric minim say Brenna abadi abasa o kasa ne wo fomo.
Oh that.
Ma wano so kakra ma me why me pa cho. We big man but ma wano so kakra ma me.
Obi we tell me nka.
Me te won kapa.
Sorry. Na and they connected to car Bluetooth in the street.
Aha, to win better. Yes.
Me that say. Obi last week you call Asante region at the approval no confirm
Asempa FM.
Yeah, baby do Yawada on the Thursday, His Excellency and then Confucia now all can good governance on a show. Into Yakoba journey. By the days in Asante region was very fruitful. We visited several constituencies in the region, but naming in Aniako so far there. But strategically, they be a party campaign team is when I was the Kankono, Yerio. Now, your campaign, it's more of targeting. And yet, the rally gidina, your swap party for you know, could go be back home. Near Casacho or Monia budget, so near see for my echo. Debbie. Into your Asante region, so overshare videos, no pictures, every man send you out there. Artisans, Jumaikua Hodro, Mason for, Carpenter for, constituency there, the corner, yes, I engagement in one sana. Your net party for no circle share, I didn't come. But so far, so good. Already the message of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jinano Pokwajimai resonating in the system. It means only many opinion analysis now for America there no. I was so excited. Obi unim adivia away the no more warm there no so. I was me kai say Trump Lucia no say on accept defeat People anticipated so Bessia baby. And our senior baby. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Olusi election or accept defeat or coin or sign by and Olusi and assigned in a baby. Kamala Harris or also or you will be vice presidential candidate aspirant then time on His Excellency Louis Akufo-Addo Kono. And then Wabe sitting vice president. And the boss say Ontimi Nkobi nti won take over. Nti akwaya to say the ye Nanasi Wokwa or then the support ni na man vice. But the dance no say the performance of Kamala Harris on Biden administration and in the future say far better than Trump there. That is the perception now. Various reports how do I can But over your crew, yes, and it's here. President Mahama 4 years no be to say the Trump if you want term. It was far better than the 8 years Alhaji Bawumia ahead as head of economic management team. The performance is abysmal. So difference I will be no. And so we share the performance of Joe Biden Modi now. I shoot to Harry, then I cost Kakra election, I highly competitive now. It will be near Dimuha because Ghana for Ghana economy so that they are twaba. And how is the economy today? Already say Obiani say Ghana economy no into deep coma under the auspices of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo near Alhaji Bawumia. So Bawumia coming on board no. It is when you funu na wasenya da na wokosie no. Nothing new is coming on board. Enti in Asante region, maame baako bi ka asem bi kyerɛ. Osi nipa na eni nkaye. Na nka mumpo de enwo sɛ mobɔ ntoa. Because ensɛm ahodo a mo kan nyina no. Mo betina konwa so mfie nan. Ye nim de mo yɛ wa Asante mamu. Ye site edwa ahodo a yesi ye. Asupiti ahodo a yesi ye. Schools, community day schools ahodo a yesi in the region. Any other projects akese a amount for siting in the region. And I believe strongly, sir, this election now, Obia records ebe kama no. Ndi se yaba na yesi ebe more Women's Development Bank. Now share the messenger na or the message neba no. In the person of Professor Jena Nopu Kwajima, now share the caliber. Na the message na or the bano. Masses nebe accept here, obi ishino. Because in election, the credibility of the messenger matters most.
Yes.
Obia nimsaid this election na yekono. Alajiba will have credibility crisis because of how he spoke previously.
Asempa FM.
Obia nimsaid a running mate, Dr. Matthew Boku Prempe, on also another crisis because of so also Kasai anyhow. That is the public perception in the country. Into a likability aspects now, many analysis now. That one too, you can't rate Napu any prof is far ahead of him. About that likability aspect and also the credibility. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is far ahead of Alhaji Bahomia. So I believe strongly, sir, at the end of the day, there will be very positive results. And many others is here, so if you are Asante region also no. The national chairman is in the team, our Asante region is here.
Okay.
We are seeing the penny budget and Fimo. And I answer I am so yeah kono. Na million penny Sami Jenfi and your excellency so best alcohol. And the Amaya do my idea, ye call water region of China for another 2 days. And will be one thing I wear a problem when say series of activities that I was His Excellency performing when the Chiwaka. Do one see a baby will be an any samba near the Kovamano. And see your days now your qua pro bar, maybe you could do a baby, so yeah, and shut down what's because activities are who do be a one Chibiano, Yan Yabana, Yasamba representing. Saturday, no move the fashion of water or your strain.
But do you feel that bars around Jena no Pokwajaman campaign? Me say ufili energy and there's bars around Jena no Pokwajaman campaign.
Obi, the energy is there. You know, we don't measure the energy aspect now. Can you do the phone on any day? So what check His Excellency John Dramani Mahama there now? Or your rallies I can see pa. So what's the dear?
Asempa FM.
Yes.
And what's the dear na? Yeah, rally.
Cause mo ya nipa mana.
Now the nipa na call Mahama there and your call region why control.
Me nka Mahama de me ka mo there no.
No. I don't make sure say nipa na your call region na obi wo mbeshi omo yan call for they are there. But one thing you ought to know is about no. Unko party for na oko rally or mubisi anu ntimi ma weni aba anamewa.
That's true.
There was some cophobia in the system. One get it closer, they may not even get the understanding of your message. Let me cite a case in Kumasi. So there will be a friend Two Vine Hotel, and the professionals Ekosiise, good for lawyers, teachers, doctors. But Obi, Guta near follow among some kakrani idea. But that day Guta rep no buy no. I'm sorry, a president for Asante region also. Onokwa na me unze Guta akra mo dan omotim two among in Asante region. Into your support. Obi, the way the man came, then some more bekaye.
Asempa FM.
They didn't know how to maintain that. What I say? Just say businesses and yama komu one kasa said the canabonti no bunyas ane. So such a person no. The message na or the buyer no response no here no say rally platforms na ujina untimi hune how kwan answer so what am I say?
Yes,
but meeting them in a group like how we started our campaign omone prof nya encounter omo ka omo how no na prof zukita ne pen in the paper or jot down issues omo via wa cooperative manifesto men some how do I trust ye leader be omo how anu nyina no. And I think this campaign is very fruitful for me from where I'm coming from. Baby, I'm here because matter, I'm on for break, Obi. I'm on for break, and the perception is say, Titano, oh yeah, rally I can see, and then they say, no. There are people in a confidential way making your country say some of their people support us even than their party in power.
MPP for no.
Oh yes, some wish is some position, especially the businessmen in the party. They wish they should go because Obi, obi agya dollar 4.2 odi kokotini akakaben se maso de akodu 17 cedis wo gu n'adwuma na o ka se nipa na oda obebo mpa ya ma obi se what you say
yeah me tell say pa
and if you don't meet the people to say the na masa I won't tell how na say so you start your call regions ahodo p
but for business people na mushia omo no mo complaining about dollar rate from 4 cedis to 16 or 17 cities, depending on where what's the promise? Amode mo say mo better swaba saying.
Omo nyasa promise dey mo say better so. Omo so mo nim ya dada. Ye betina konwa so. Papa ko 4 pence so. All ko now edabe 1.2 ana meboa.
Yes.
NDC betina so 8 years. Professor Mills ne Mahama oja no 4.2. An increment of 3 Ghana cedis meboa.
Yes.
What betina konwa so e confie nwotwe. Omo dey say na account.
That's over 10 cities.
Measurement then here be. As some way make maybe before no be say this election is about the reasonable minds in the country versus the MPP. Because Obi.
Yeah, but the reasonable mind would want to know, say. No, but Eric, let me finish. In the reasonable mind would want to know, say, okay, on the basis of reasonableness, no, the NPP are disappointed. I mean, 4 to 16 or 17, that's way too much. But if I'm being reasonable to vote for the NDC to come back, I would vote on the basis, say, okay, see NDC bar, or the free 17 assigned the Ababe 5, and or the 6. But you've not told the Ghanaian people that, are they?
Obi, that is when the track record comes in. Mahama baby 4 years, so why maybe 8 years?
Yes.
You need a track record. All colonial change rate in that thing. And I don't need the measure credibility of a person or past. Any other measure. Obi, can you use my future to judge me? Who need my future?
Okay, using the past, no, Ghanaians should be rest assured. Say, see the best about 4 cities. Is that your argument?
They said they should. Say, I'm a President Akufo-Addo. Any Alhaji Bawumia Transubiem. If it 2025 for corner, I feel na yebetia yeka world drama so ne de ka hona. Dollar yebetia nya 50 cedis. E wo kroma. Put in mind, say. Or have it in mind, say, me no kaza this year, your public debt, yentimintia, meboa. Yentia ya honka wankawa krana dollar na tiya no. And now, international market, and this government per se, headed by Nanado, ya Alhaji Bawumia Bonechi down no. Omone confidence in the MPP party na wabe mu no. Enti ode Alhaji Bawumia ba, enyum krona no modeba. But the change of government alone will bring confidence in the economy. You know this.
And bring the dollar to saying you've not answered that question.
Bring the dollar to saying, and I make a say, yeah, be manage the economy. Ni said yeah, ni maybe no. And maybe na chemu kono. Mahama betina kunyaso. One time be $58 million. Anku tu amena. Dollar na ho akwa atwe no. Ya am 58 anku tu amena say ye di besi national cathedral. Ya am $2 million. Ah ma company bi wa ma no ne say ye be yes sky train no man so ye tia kanu bi. Samre na Mahama tia konwa so no nchata wie mu sen ya charging in the dollar what am I say these are the things abana ye dia collapse the economy you know and I know and these things it will never happen under President Mahama and already we know the true state of our economy today enti dia wan say ade no no ne kra no because so nim ho ban ba nka wan say no
enti every Eric
Enra.
Okay.
Enra no kusia youth.
Yeah, Dr. Bawumia, yes. Enra
Enra.
Boteman, yes, Enra.
And I was saying sure mo boss obe mo adwuma meboa.
Yes.
Say dey omo ne powers no. Nye ne penso na ye fa na kofu adwuma mu 9 months ni ye dua na kofu ka no. Nye ne penso na omo so omo restore allowance enkwada ni bi 30 months ni ye dua omo ka. Omo wie school adwan ko UK brain drain e ko pa adwuma ye dua allowance na ma nye ne penso. Enye ne penso na batches ni bi wie school therefore batches necessary go fie no. So these people they are coming as scammers. They want to rebrand themselves. That is all.
Okay, Eric, back to my question. I mean, reasonable people be brainer 8 you. They want to vote for the NDC to come back because of the dollar rate. Maybe I could do this share amount for sika, a amount for businesses. When they vote for the NDC, where would the dollar come to? back to 4 cities, 5 cities, 6 cities, 7 cities. Now, Omunya Hotos one fan to Abano.
Let me tell
Can you promise them, BB?
Me
too.
I can be on your platform and tell you, say, what to Obama Mahama na dollar bet be free anymore benechi. That is not what I'm telling you. But I buy Biaba or policies are the go akwemuno. And on the church a business community, Humbertona and Asa and Honton. Now, yeah, cut 24-hour economy was them. You know, I'm MPP, they are more pretended such a Montiasi. But those in the business community now, and you are Musiano, also the proposal by and Sana, yeah, try a manifesto. No, or when you say packages and incentives now, what that policy, no, a bit me up, Amagani, Sika, some crying, Edge, Obi Sotomasi. So reckless expenditure now, na maybe Bobby Chono. Obian himself say you did Sika, our Kwan Paswa, and my hotel befi. Because now, I buy in say, oh yeah, one day, one factory.
Yes.
Now, mobile be move your mind from taxation to production-based economy. And we're not paying more taxes than we were paying previously. So the simple question is, businessman now, also person sign project made in Ghana products, or no taxes are what you in Jumegu. At the same time, what's the Ghana economy import driven? Into be make sure say, Yebema factories are hold or abakum said Yebeya dollar now pressure basono. Ebeko from what bet na kunya so 7 good years confirm watching. How many of the factories and our creative? They be on my number. At the end of the day, unemployment rate cost. Yesika 7 no so say import no so ye more.
Okay.
If indeed why ye juma ebekati importer and the demand for dollar no be cost rosa. Obi, and I all down just say.
And those are the things I'm about obey.
Those are some of the things. Yedikiaka. You see new businesses, so no. Or first 2 years, business in getting a shaf, no. Obi, ye nyo to be unya fapim now 9 so we are. What's that here to Eddie Amabino? Obi, let me clear something on your platform here. You're quite Asante region, they call radio station 112. One say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now or address a group of people, and I know the policy for the poultry industry. And Wakoka say, Nyankopoye na domine ba benwa. You be making sure that industry, you be ma akofom. Until at least uwapetemu baby na unya futuo kakra. Na abaye no ma onkoko kakra. Ubetimi dia starti bibi. And can in the local language and kaza say enkoko nkete. Ma hu say MPP for na dey advert. Obi yeti kroma one say poultry farms no mu bie no akoko a wanyini ne yeye no. Obi
Eric me bacho ma men
poultry farmers say kroma no eye nkoko o manyini no mo ye o mo ana say nkoko emo ma.
Na be say o start with day old chicks no.
Very good. Inti no language or kan ye akankasa o ti no de kan say nkoko nkete. Then we have intellectuals in this country talking as if say nkoko na ye omo poultry na ye nkoko na enyini na eku omo no. Let me tell them, more move that policy, no. I think you've gathered enough from government, so you are comfortable. But people are down there, or Musu say, yeah, they also get something. Obi, more station where Kwabena yadom. Last year, omo ye research bi, Doma enclave. So them said the whole Ghana in our
poultry. Yes, it's true.
Kwabena yadom research na omo ye no. In 2016. Now can kokwa wopetemu hu nyina bomu na nkoko no number 60 million. Utie me pa.
Me too.
In 2021, 2022, na nkoko no so atie duru 1.5 million. Why? Because nkoko no enuane e di feed omompo yenya ebro ni de keka ho no. At the same time, now government also running planting for food and job. Obi meboa.
Yes.
Okay, planting for food and job policy document na you maize, cereals, na vegetables. Enye abro and ye feeding kuko okruma pa. Inti ye den ya planting for food and job and cost over 3 billion Ghana cedis. Na poultry farmers bro the free Burkina near Ivory Coast. And this will be say or banwa be se mukena na o kire se den kuko ma na be sha se na obi si there be o se kuko na omo nyina omo behu na de omo sha se. It's over to them. So those in the poultry industry we are assuring them say said the terms sika de koma akoko dako farm so fancy ni dwuma mu but review mu ne omo keka ho akesi aye pen so omunya packages ni bi no ye ba ne assign dia be form so
Eric, my men now say, Nyame Adumo China must start a Volta region tour and I will come back to you and have a conversation. Right?
Obi. Me da say we the me man no see form no. And opay na audio be trend. You say me aminu Kwame Bafo.
Yes.
Akoki can sing be what you audio no.
No mintie. O kan fa hwan ho ana.
Ewo NDC, ewo Bono region. Say you di agra DC Waterchiman South last election no.
Eric, mintie audio no nti we dey me fancy. Why me pacho me fancy.
I won't go there.
My fancy we dey nyambo e china e be se dey nkomo bi. Eric, it's okay. Nyame Adumo e china we would have a conversation on the Volta regional tour. Eric Ejeni Atenka, deputy spokesperson for the Jane Nano Pokwajeman campaign. Mestrem we tie we by will still stay in the Asante region. There is a group calling itself Victory for Baumia Group. Na convener no ewaha. They've been touring the Asante region extensively, and they will tell us a bit more about more activities and how campaign no echo in Asante. We say Jena no pokwajimen free ho and ebesin akọ Volta. Yeah, because I see don't get here national chairman of the NDC in the team ewa Asante. Dr. Baumia, the NPP flag bearer himself, is in Asante and I'll share the tour of the Asante region. I say we are told that he will be there for the next 2 weeks. And the Asante region is really getting very, very interesting. After this short break, we'll still stay in the Asante region and talk politics. Here, Bass is here.
Ecobank Mobile, they make me say, Ecobank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Download it. You go enjoy it. In my come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even just tights with the Apple. Ecobank Apple. Life is easy with the Ecobank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the Ecobank mobile app. You know it's 5-star life with Ecobank. Kim promise.
Hey, intimi Kwame Bampo penny. Market ya enye insuta na yesta bisano. Anton swa bobu. Esan say me bucket ye miensape. Me ni thank you. Emum dum fo bia dum me. Wa bombo sia say me nkope tank into. Na din tank na meta me high. Syntax tank. Din na echepa. Syntax tank. Tank benzu ne kita warranty bebre. Syntax tank. Na face so uni my favorite color no. Tank ben ne bit me ayama me. Syntax tank. Obia says Syntax tank. Case close. Tribel tank. Shedi atro. Eye SINTEX. Syntax tank na. Enye na bebie. Syntax tank. Eye strong. Eye tough.
Ni wonsensem e dia magana for opepepe num we kire se wasi ayaresabia bibre wo yinkurase ambulance ahodo zipline abefo kwan ya wofa so chichenro ama doctor for ho aye ha
ampo Dr. Ima ye frame Jane ye nurse ni enye no nko a ye den pp abayase wa map mudin adwuma ye ne hiasem afi bia wo sharp mudin adwuma no mukina sika odi bogo branya nkwanim afi bia 20% abefo mfidie de ye adwuma no so ye nya de ye wonanim what it say a nurse for baby ye yemani je kran so ne say osanso de sika o de ma nurse for awarding tetie no asama wo mu ayaresa be ye crabbish
MPP 2024 manifesto no ahye bose yapomuden ho nhyehyɛ ne nsensem no wo behye mu kina afei so wo bewie abefo kwan a wo fa so edidi dwuma ewo yi health project no mu wo sa so AC agenda 111 ayaresa bia ewo man mu nyina a ebeboa edi enwuma empem aduoson aba ama adopter nurse for any apomudin